Today I'd like to take you on a tour of the Sounds Right Phonics games and activities workbooks. So these are a set of, well, you buy them separately. These are two workbooks in the right order. The yellow book is for the initial code or basic code as you might know it. And the blue workbook is for the extended code. So our basic code is all of our sound to spelling correspondences for the single letters of the alphabet and moving into our two letters, one sound or digraph spellings like sh, sh and ch, ch, and moving from 2 and 3 sound words, so words like up and hop, to 4, 5 and 6 sound words with consonants beside each other, for example, nest and frog and spring. The extended code moves into variable spelling patterns for single sounds, so one sound, many spellings, and also one spelling, many sounds. So for example, OW could represent ow as in cow and O as in bow. So in the initial code book, you have got 275 pages of photocopyable activities. They're not tied into any specific books and they follow the Sounds Right scope and sequence. The extended code book has got 185 pages, again, of photocopyable activities. And you can use these activities once you've done your explicit teaching and some guided practice. You could use these pages for more guided practice and also for that independent practice to give kids the number of repetitions that they need in order to transfer that new learning into their long-term memory. So lots of opportunities to read words and write words, and also read and write phrases and sentences. So let's have a look at the contents of these books. We have got, in the initial code workbook, we have got, I'm going to show you examples from one of the units. So in Sounds Right, each new set of sounds or new piece of code knowledge is a unit. So this is from the initial code. So this is unit 7. They've learned all of their single sound to letter correspondences. You can see previous sound spelling, so a, st, n, op, b, etc. And we've got new spellings which have just been introduced, so x, y, and then we've got the double F, double L, double S, and double Z patterns, 2 letters, 1 sound. And also there's some high frequency words which have been taught and are here for review. So we've got the, is, a, of, for, are, was, and all. So in this unit 7, here's an example of the kinds of activities you'll find, and you'll find this same set in each unit. So you'll get, for example, 7.1 word reading with the code that's in that unit. So here we've got read a word, so picture to caption matching, read the word and match it to its picture. And I really like in here how we've got simple directions for the teacher or for any other adult who is working with that child to support their reading and writing development. So that could be a learning support, teacher aide, a parent. It's very straightforward and easy to follow. So here we've got word writing. So we ask the student to write the word using the sound spelling patterns in the box and prompting them to say the sounds as they write them. So in here we've got kiss, and we've got the initial sound k, and we've got our choice of spellings up here, k, I, s, kiss. Here we have sentence reading, so applying that code knowledge, we've applied it in reading words, we've applied it in writing words, and now we can read phrases. So Jess is hot. Did Jess run up the hill in a zigzag? And there's 3 examples there. We've got these ones here are cut and stick. So for each one, they cut up the sentence, they read, just working on one sentence at a time, ask them to read out each word and put them in order so that they make sense. And then we can stick them onto a piece of paper and have a go at reading that sentence smoothly. We could also use that for a sentence writing activity. And this is really nice for working on, well, it incorporates that understanding of there being a capital letter at the beginning of a sentence and a full stop at the end. So they automatically have the first 2. So here we have order the spellings and write the word. So you've got the 3 sound spelling correspondences for the word and name the picture box. We've got the 3 choices here to write this word, and they can use those letter sounds to write the word. So they'd say b, o, x as they write it and then read their word back. We've got some letter formation tracing work here to practice saying the sounds as they write them. And then I would write some more underneath without the tracing. These ones are really good. Speed read is giving them either 20 seconds to see how many they can read. And the students really like to work on this and pit themselves against themselves. So I would never have children read as a race in a group and see who's the fastest. It's definitely a race against yourself. So how many words can you read in 20 seconds? Write it down on their piece of paper, and then bring it back every day for several days and bring it back in a couple of weeks too. I often just do it all the way around and see how long it took them to read all of the words. Depends how effortful their decoding is, their reading is. If they were really slow and laborious, I'd stick to 20 seconds and see how many they get. But if we can get through quite quick, I'd do the whole lot. I'll show you an example of the difference that time can make here. So here's another example of a speed read just laid out differently. So again, how many can they read in 20 seconds? You can do this just one-on-one, or this can be done as a buddy activity in pairs. So here's an example of doing this with a student, and you can see the first read through, and this was a round the rectangle one like this page here. And this was in the extended code actually. So O representing O, and O as in post, and go, O as in ox. So the first time through, 17.85 seconds. This was all on the same day. Then down to 9.39, and we just made it was so exciting. And then 7.6, and then when we brought it back later on, down to 6.5 seconds to read all the way around. I mean, for a child to get that kind of success and see their own progress is really exciting for them and so motivating. Okay, also in this unit 7, we have a memory game, and this would be repeated in all of the units. So here you would photocopy these pages and cut them out. And so that as they turn over, they take turns turning over 2, and they try to match the word with the picture. I suggest printing these on thicker paper or card so that they can't see through plain printing paper. They'll see the word and the picture through it. I know, yeah, it says here, good tip, put a set for each unit in a different envelope and write the unit number on it so that then you've got them to use again, or photocopy each one on a different coloured card. Also in this unit, we've got a 4 in a row game. So each player has a different coloured pen. Don't hesitate as an adult working with a child to just take turns, and you sound out and read your word in the same way the child will. It's not cheating, it's not going to hinder their learning, and actually it's a lot more exciting for them if you play the game. Or it could be 2 children working together. So each has a different coloured highlighter or pen. They're going to say the sounds and read the word. So ox, circle that in blue, and then you're going to read yes, yes, and circle it in orange. And it's the first person to get 4 in a row who wins that game. And I actually work to get more than one set of 4 in a row, because sometimes you get to that a bit too quickly. And we've got a word search, you know how those work, but the difference in these sounds right ones is that they have the digraphs, two letters, one sound together in one box for them to find. In the extended code, I've got an example from Unit 8 of the extended code, which is the ow sound. So it's looking at 2 different spellings, OW and OU for the ow sound. So here we get a few slightly different activities. We have got a word sort, so they need to read each word, underline the ow sound, so they're then paying attention to the spelling pattern used, and then they will transcribe that word into a word sort down below. So for example, they're going to write the word brown and say the sounds while they write it, b, r, ow, n, into the word sort. Okay, for word tracking, they're going to read each word quietly to themselves. If they hear the ow sound, they'll circle that word and continue to the next one. So if the word doesn't have the ow sound, like hen, they just move on. They're only going to circle the words with the ow sound. And they might then, as a follow-up, they can write a couple of sentences which have got one of these ow words in them. Over here, word analysis. So this requires the students to read the word and then highlight just the spelling of the ow sound in the word. So they'd read the brown, and they'd highlight the OW, and they'd read town, highlight OW in there. All right, so word reading and word writing. We've got read the word, down, and then they're going to fold down the dotted line, fold that left side over the words, and they're going to say the sounds and write the word onto the lines here. So d, ow, and then they can open it up and check their spelling. Roll and read, I've explained. Oh, no, I haven't explained that. So in a roll and read, you take turns rolling a dice, and so it's a two-player game again, either adult, child, or children together with maybe some support. So I've got an example here of one I've done with a student. So we've got I and E, and we both had a different color. So say I rolled a 3, I had to read this first word here, croak, and I highlighted it in my green color. The next person rolls, and maybe she rolled a 2. She has to read this word, cone, and highlight it in her color. Carry on, you must read the next one. The person who's got the square at the top owns that column, and so you can highlight it in their color or put their initial down here, and then the person who owns the most columns at the end wins the game. And you can see I did not win the game. E for Emma was me. Here we've got the 4 in a row game, which I did explain earlier, and also a speed read. And here we've got different spellings for the same sound, always matching in with the same concept in the unit. Speed read again in a different format, in a grid format. We've got a snakes and ladders game, another partner game they can play with a dice. So they have to roll the dice, move to it, and read the word before they can shift their marker. And we've got a word search again. So that's what's inside the Phonic Games and Activities workbooks from Sounds Right. They have a very durable, big, thick cover, so they will last on your shelf. I went through lots and lots of photocopying. So a really good resource to have that can be used independent of any particular series of books, because the contents isn't related to any specific books. Thanks for joining me.